We have got another runner-specific Pilates workout today. As always, it's just 30 minutes long. You don't need anything but yourself and a mat. Though I will say, if you ever wanted to add ankle weights or wrist weights, you can do that with any of these workouts. And if you've got any injuries, any niggles, or anything that doesn't feel right, please make sure to hit pause, take more rests as you need. But other than that, we are going to jump straight in. So we are actually going to start down on one knee. This is often how I finish a class, but it's also nice to start this way. So I want you to tuck the tailbone under, squeeze this left glute, and you should just feel a nice stretch down this hip flexor here. We're just going to press into it if you can, just a bit more of a lunge so we can feel it, and then pop the hands down. Just press that knee out to the side, get those hips warmed up, tuck the toe under, and we're going to step back into a lunge. Take that right arm up towards the ceiling, exhale. We're going to bring it back down, elbow towards the foot, and up, exhale. Good. We've got 3 here. Nice and dynamic. And last one. And drop the knee back down. Bring that foot across, and we're just going to sit into this pigeon pose here. Take the hands a little bit further away from the body, and we're just going to press down and back up. So really stretching into that glute and the hip. Good, 2 more. And last one. And up. Bring the hands back in, tuck the toe under, and send both feet up, the bum up, the feet back into this downward dog position, and then gently drop the knees back down and bring that left leg up. I'm going to repeat on the other side. So squeezing this glute, tucking that tailbone under, and then just gently press into it, bringing those hands down towards the foot, pressing back and taking that hand up towards the ceiling. Bring the elbow to the knee and exhale on the rotation. We've got 3 more. And last one. Bring that hand down and bring that foot across into that pigeon pose. Now, if this feels uncomfortable, you can sit on a block, you can pop a block or something, a towel under your knee, just to give you a bit more of a lift if everything feels too tight. But just take those hands a bit further away from the body, and we're just bending into that stretch. Again, keeping it nice and dynamic for the warm-up. Good, last 3, 2, and last one. Tuck the toe under, hands back, and then step it back into that downward dog, and just take a few foot pedals there, and then push forward into that high plank. Core nice and tight, deep breaths. We're just going to hold it here for 10 seconds. Last 3, 2, 1, and gently drop the knees nice and wide. Send the bum back to the heels and just walk those hands forward. Big inhale and exhale. And then walk the hands and feet in. Coming up to all fours, my sock is twisted right around there. And we're going to come on to our side. Leg out to the side, pull up the leggings. And we're going to bring those hands behind the head, elbow right out to the side. And we're just going to rotate down towards the mat and back up. So we're really using these oblique muscles to do the work, and we're going to try to keep those shoulders down and the elbows right out to the side. So we're opening up the chest at the same time. Good. Really squeeze and lift up out those hips as we come up. We've just got 2 more here. And last one. Reaching over and then pop that hand back down, and the hand can come onto the hip or by your side, whatever is most comfortable. But we're going to lift that leg here, and I just want you to pulse that leg up and down. Don't worry if it's not very high, but we're working that glute, squeezing the abdominals. Breathe. Last 3, 2, 1, and pop it back down. Now you've got the option to step this underneath leg back into a side plank, and we're just going to lift the arm up and we're going to pulse. Or if that feels too much, I want you to step back into a normal full plank with both hands down, and we're just going to hold it. But if you are here with me, we've just got another 3 pulses. And relax back through the center into a full plank, and then drop the knees, send the bum back to the heels. Big inhale and exhale, and then walk those hands back in, coming up onto our knees again. We are keeping our chin to our knees in one straight line. Just bring the knees in a little bit closer so they are hip width, and we are working our full body here. So I don't want you to sit the bum back or flare the chest. We're keeping a nice straight line, really working everything, and we're just going to float ourselves back, really working the legs and core here and glutes, and then squeeze back in. So keep those shoulders nice and relaxed, arms float up and back to the center. Good. Take it back. You might notice as these workouts have gone on, if you followed them chronologically, they are getting slightly tougher, but hopefully we're getting slightly stronger. So if any of these feel too much, just go back to some of the previous workouts and keep doing those until you feel ready to progress. Last one, we're going to hold it, shoulders down, deep breaths. Last 3, 2, and slowly bring yourselves back up. Turning back towards the side, we want our left leg out this time, hands behind the head. Again, remembering to keep the shoulders down, elbows right out to the side, and we want to lift up out these hips. So feel like something's lifting you up from the ceiling, but from your head, not your shoulders. So those shoulders need to stay nice and relaxed, and we are working the obliques. So we take that elbow down towards the mat, and then inhale to come back up. Good, shoulders down. Exhale as we reach, and inhale back up. Good. Lifting up out of those hips, squeezing the abdominals as we come back up. We've got 2 more here. And last one, we're going to take that hand down towards the mat and bring this other hand by the side or to the hip. I'm going to lift the leg and pulse. Like I said, don't worry if the leg doesn't go high, and also don't worry if one side feels a hell of a lot harder than the other. That is perfectly natural. You can either be tighter or weaker in one side. Deep breaths, core nice and tight. We are pulsing. Good work. Last 3, 2, 1, and step that foot back. So you can either turn now into your full plank, or if you feel good here, pop that foot down, step that underneath leg behind, hands up to the ceiling, and we're just driving that hip right up, lifting those obliques. Good, pressing up out the shoulder. Last 3, 2, 1. Turn back into that full plank. Hold it here if you can. 5 seconds. 3, 2, and drop the knees down. Take them a bit wider, as wide as the mat, and then send the bum back to the heels. Walk the hands forward. And take a big inhale and exhale. And then walk those hands back in. We're going to swivel ourselves round. So we're on our bum, our feet are flat on the floor, the knees are up to the ceiling, and we've just got our hands hugging behind our thighs, and we're going to take our C curve. So as I like to say with this one, focus on your feet so they're not rolling in or rolling out or gripping the floor too much, and also those knees, you want to keep those knees parallel and making sure between each rep we are lifting back up out of our hips. So starting nice and tall, we're going to scoot the stomach muscles to the back of the spine, rolling down, and exhale as we lift up nice and tall. Good. And scoop, and exhale to come up. Good. Take it back a bit further if you feel like you've got the control. Exhale as we sit up. And back up. If you feel like you want to go a bit further, we can take the arm out towards the side, looking over that shoulder, and inhale to come up, and the other side, exhale as we rotate, making sure those knees stay parallel. Inhale back to the centre, 1 more each side. Exhale on the rotation. Inhale up, and exhale. And inhale to come up. Stretching the legs out in front of us, we're going to do a roll down to take ourselves down to the mat. So lifting up and then slowly rolling down, 1 vertebrae at a time, nice and controlled. Head is the last thing to touch the mat, and then just hug those knees right into the chest and just rock from side to side. Massage that lower spine. Take a nice deep breath there, and then take those legs up into tabletop. Hands are behind the head, elbows right out to the side, and we're lifting the head, neck and shoulders. We're going to extend the right leg and bring it in. And exhale as we extend, really making sure that back stays flat on the mat, scooping the stomach muscles to the spine. Good. And back in. Lengthen. We've just got 1 more each leg. And last one. And drop the head back down. Bring the feet back down to the mat. And then bring those hands to the hips. We're just going to open up our hips here. So I want you to focus on keeping this left hip on the mat. And I just want you to take the right knee out to the side. You can rotate the foot. And then back to the centre. Really squeezing those lower abdominals to keep the pelvis still. And back in. 1 more each side. Just opening up the hips. And back through to the centre. Taking the legs up into that tabletop position, 1 leg at a time, hands by the side, lifting up through the head, neck and shoulders, and we are pulsing. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. Straighten that right leg and back in. and the left. Keep that back flat on the mat, shoulders relaxed. And in. We've got one more each side. And inhale to come back in. Exhale. And inhale. And pop the head back down. And the feet one at a time. Bringing the hands back round behind the head. We are lifting one leg up into tabletop as we lift up into a sit-up. So we're coming up, keeping those elbows right out to the sides, and inhale back down. Good. Exhale to come up, and inhale down. Good. Remembering to focus on our breathing. Take it nice and slow and controlled. Elbows out to the side. Hold it up. Extend the right leg. And back in. We've got 4 reps here. 3. Last one. And pop the foot and the head back down. Take a big inhale and exhale. And we're going to repeat on the other side. So the left leg comes up as we sit up. So lifting up. And inhale back down. Again, really squeezing the stomach muscles to the spine, making sure that spine is flat on the mat. Exhale to lift. Inhale down. Last one, this is the one where we add the leg extension. So we come up, stretch that left leg, keep those elbows right up to their side. They want to draw themselves in, keep them out. And back in. The last one here. And bring the head back down, knees are in, hug into the chest, and then just gently rocking from side to side, massage that lower spine, and then pop the feet on the floor, knees up to the ceiling. Weight is to our shoulders, we're going to peel up the spine, 1 vertebrae into our glute bridge. I'm going to shift our weight into our left leg, so we're really working this glute, and we're going to take the right leg up into this tabletop position, and we're going to extend. I'm going to take it down in line with the knee and back up and pulse. So it goes down, back up to the ceiling and pulse. Good. Really squeezing that supporting leg. Don't worry, we've only got 2 more here. Good, last one. Really squeezing that glute and core to protect the spine. And return that leg back down. Roll back down. 1 vertebrae at a time. And take it back up. First thing to come up. Rolling up 1 vertebrae. Get ready to shift the weight into this right supporting leg. That leg goes up into the tabletop position and extend. We'll draw it down and pulse. Down level with that leg. Drive it up, really fire up this supporting leg. Good. Stay with me. Last 2. Drive it up. Bring that leg back down and then rolling back down the spine. 1 vertebrae at a time. Hug the knees to the chest and rock from side to side. Legs up into that tabletop position. Lift the head, neck and shoulders, and we are pulsing. Inhale and exhale and stretch the legs. Deep breaths. We've got 10 seconds here. Good, keep breathing, last 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and relax back down, hug the knees to the chest. Legs back up to tabletop, but bring the knees and feet together. We're just going to rotate over to one side, lifting this right hip off the mat, using those obliques, and inhale back through the center. Exhale, over to this side, keeping the shoulders on the mat. We've just got one more each side. And back through the center. And down. Pop the feet down. Stretch the body nice and long. And then we're going to rotate on to our front. Hands a bit further away from the body in front of us. And we're just going to take a few back extensions here. So just press up, shoulders down. And back down. Take the legs about hip width apart, slightly more comfortable. Neck nice and long. Good. 2 more here. Just go to where feels good for you. We don't want to overstretch. And back down. Hands a bit closer to the chest. And then send it all the way back. Bum back to the heels. Walk those hands forward. Take a nice stretch there. And then coming up onto all fours. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And we are going to go into our Superman. So we're extending opposite arms and legs, making sure these hip bones stay facing the mat. So we extend, exhale as we reach, and inhale to come back in. And exhale, stretch, really feel like you're lengthening the arm and leg away from the body. And back in. Good. Keep that hip bone facing the mat. Keep the neck in line with the spine if we can. Exhale as we reach. And back in. We're going to add a pulse on this next one. So we're going to extend and then pulse, pulse, 3, and back in, and over to the other side. Try not to let that back arch as we pulse. Really squeeze the core muscles, and back in. Good, 1 more each side. Keep squeezing. Make sure those hip bones are not rotating. Last one. And return back in. Drop the head and arch the spine. Push the floor away. And inhale. Bring that chest up towards the wall. Just 1 more each side. And bring that chest up. And then come back to a nice neutral spine. Now we're going to extend the arm and leg away from each other again. And we're going to drive the elbow towards the knee. So we're going to extend and then drive the knee to the elbow, round the spine, and then lengthen. Good. And again, same arm and leg, not as each other, but as in we're not switching over. Good. 2 more. Come back to that nice neutral spine in between. Really hug the elbow to the knee, working the core, and then control back in. Extend the opposite arm and leg. Drive it in. And lengthen, nice flat back, keeping this hip bone facing towards the mat. Good. Lengthen. Good, last one. and control that knee back in. Take it as wide as the mat. Send the bum back. Walk the hands forward. And take that inhale and that exhale. And then coming back up onto all fours. I want you to tuck the toes under, and we're just going to lift the knees off the mat, and we're just going to kiss the floor with our knees so it's nice and soft. We're not sending them too far up, it's just hovering just off that mat. Breathe. That's 3, 2, 1, and drop the knees and soften the feet. Just take a rest here. We are going to come back up into our bent leg plank, but we're going to rotate the knees towards one side. So tuck the toes under, we're going to lift up, and then I want you to rotate the knees, dip that hip back through the centre, over to the other side. One more each side. And last one, nice and controlled. Back into the centre, drop the knees and soften the feet. Coming down onto our forearms, we're going to step it back into a forearm plank. And we're just going to hold here. Core nice and tight, bum in line. 9 seconds left. Last 6. Last 3, 2, 1. And gently drop the knees down. Send the bum back to the heels. And walk the hands forward. Take that big inhale. And a nice big exhale. And then walk the hands in. We're going to sit on our bum, and I want you to take the legs out to the side. This will really show you how inflexible I am if you haven't noticed already. But we're just going to lift up out of our hip bones. That feels tight for me. I don't know how that feels for any of you. Take the arms out towards the side. I want you to lift up and over and send that left arm towards that right side of the leg. Try keep that back nice and flat, and exhale into that stretch. You might be laid right over that leg, and I'm very impressed if you are. Take a big inhale and exhale, and then back up through the centre. The same on the other side. If like me, you might really struggle on one side to keep a nice flat back. And then back up through the centre, and then over towards the front. Again, it doesn't even look like I'm leaning forward, but I can assure you I am, and my hamstrings feel very tight round about now. A good reminder to do this stretch, but just exhale into it, and then walk the hands back in. Crossing the legs, lifting up out of our hips. I want you to take the left arm over, keep it stretched out near that ear, really reach and inhale back through the centre, exhale over to the other side and back up. One more each side. Up. And then back through the centre. One last inhale and exhale. And good work. That is another one done. Hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you on the next video, and enjoy all your runs this week.